Over the next 7 days, our purpose challenge is to 1, start or continue keeping a prayer journal, and 2, to pray 10 times every day. If you don't have a lot of time available, that's okay. These can be quick prayers. Maybe you pray for someone from last week's challenge. But I'm going to set reminders or alarms to make sure that I remember to pray at least 10 times throughout my day. My goal is to make God a much more constant focus throughout my days. I'll go into the details of this challenge a bit later. For most of my life, I have really struggled to be focused on God when I'm praying, and from a lot of people that I've talked to, it seems like they also struggle with the same thing. So before getting into the details of this week's challenge, I'd like to share a couple things that have helped me become more focused during my prayer time. For a while, I was doing my Bible and prayer time before getting out of bed. I would read my Bible on my phone and then try to pray when I'm also trying to not fall back asleep. As you can probably guess, I didn't have the most focused prayer time. Sometimes I would do my quiet time a bit later in the day, and this usually did work a little bit better, but often my mind was still racing with things I needed to do, thinking about when I would be able to play sports next, or maybe even just of a meme I recently saw. If you find that your mind is often cluttered when you are trying to pray, I suggest making sure that your mind isn't overly stimulated right before praying, maybe by scrolling through social media or watching TV or something like that. I just realized while editing, it sounds like I was saying you should be on social media before prayer. And that you spend 5 minutes in silence before starting to pray. I find that I am able to focus a lot better after spending a few minutes in silence. When I do this, I will keep something near me that I can write down some of the thoughts that are going through my mind, things that I need to do, anything that I got to just get down on paper. I either keep my phone near me with a note open, or I'll keep my notebook handy and write some things down. Just getting those thoughts that are in my mind that are making it feel so cluttered, or the things that I need to do that I'm worried about forgetting, getting those down on paper makes my mind a lot clearer, and then I'm able to spend a lot more focused time on whatever it is that I'm doing next. The final thing that really helped me focus during my prayer time is also a part of this week's challenge. That would be keeping a prayer journal. If this is something that you are already doing, great, keep it up, and I don't have anything special to add to it. But if you are not keeping a prayer journal, I find that it really helps me focus because I have to actually write down the things that I'm praying about rather than just trying to keep my mind focused on the things that I want to be praying for, and my mind wanders to other things. Yeah. Plus, as an added benefit, I get to go back and look at the things that I've prayed for and see what God did in those situations. Your prayer journal could be either a physical journal that you actually physically write things down in, or you could use your phone and either keep it in a note, or there are a lot of great prayer apps available as well. Now, I honestly haven't been using prayer apps much. I've been using a physical journal recently when I'm doing my prayer time, but I did decide to give a prayer app called PrayerMate a try this week because my brother suggested it to me. If you guys would like to give it a try as well, it is a free app, so go look it up, download it if you think that will be helpful for you. Now that we've gone over how we are going to improve the quality of our prayer time, let's move on to the second part of our challenge, which relates to the amount of time or the quantity of prayer that we are doing. Now, I don't expect everyone to be able to spend an extended amount of time where they're journaling about what they're praying and really in a deep focused prayer 10 different times a day. I know that a lot of us, myself included, have busy schedules and there just isn't time for that much focused prayer, but that doesn't mean we can't still pray 10 times. Maybe it's just a quick prayer for someone that we prayed for last week, or maybe we continue asking people for prayer requests or just go off of prayer requests that we hear at church, things that we know our family members or friends need prayer for. Anything like that is totally fine. And while praying for others probably should be our primary focus, don't forget to pray for yourself too. Pray for things that you need to be focusing on more, for challenges that you're facing. Pray that God will help you grow closer to Him. Since I know that I often forget to do things that I intend to do, I'm going to be setting 10 reminders for myself throughout the day to make sure that I remember to spend this time in prayer. I hope everyone will have a great time this week growing closer to God through prayer. And I pray that your prayers in last week's challenge helped both you and others grow closer to God. That is all that I have for this week, so as always, continue sharing any stories of impact. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see future videos, and most importantly, share this video with a friend so they can be impacted as well. Thank you. I'll see you next week.